Beloved, whenever you engage in these rituals, you are intentionally turning away from the Lord, from the God who has sworn with an oath to bless his people, the God who has promised to supply all your needs according to his riches, the God who did not spare his only son but freely gave him for you and me. How shall he not through him also freely give us all things? Whenever we bypass God's process and seek help from any other altar, we are submitting ourselves, our destinies, and sometimes generations after us into bondage. Sometimes it's not your own actions, but the covenants your grandfather or ancestors made with these gods in their day that has brought a curse on your family. Your parents or grandparents may have been so desperate for marriage, for a child, for good crops, for prosperity, that they turned to strange altars, to lesser gods, or agreed to some rituals, some even unaware of the spiritual implication, just so their spouse will love them, so their farmlands will increase, so that door will open. Some have gone as far as to sell their generation in exchange for money, long life, and success. Because of that, it is you that is experiencing the consequences today. You are wondering why cycles just keep repeating in your life and in your family. Wondering why only your family, some become rich only to suddenly become poor again. Some people never cross certain thresholds in life, no matter how hard they work. Something always stops their progress. For others, every time marriage is about to happen, something always gets in the way. Some of you in your family, everyone, father, mother, brother, sister, they are all struggling with strange eye conditions. All of you are wearing glasses. And it's not just genetics, it's a pattern that has stubbornly persisted. There are some of you, no matter how long you live, nobody in your family has crossed a certain age. Just as someone is getting close to that age, a mysterious accident or some sort of sickness arrives and another life is cut short. For others, you notice that in your lineage, no woman ever enjoys a stable marriage. It's either the marriage are delayed, or even when they happen, there is fighting and hostility all the time. And in other families, nobody remains married. Separation and divorce is everywhere. Some people are hearing me right now. They see good things but never taste them. You celebrate others, but no one has ever gathered to celebrate you. These are symptoms, beloved, symptoms of ancient altars crying for the price of covenants made by your forefathers. Some of these people have long gone, yet those covenants are still in place, and you, your siblings, and your children are now suffering the consequences. Many of us are asking, why am I dealing with these battles when I had nothing to do with idolatry? Why am I suffering for decisions my forefathers made? This is a question that has echoed through generations. If God loves us, if we have given our lives to Christ, why do we have to go through oppressions or suffering? Why? The same thing happened to Gideon. When you read Judges chapter 6, you will see that the Israelites ended up in captivity and poverty, not just because every person walked away from God, but because the nation as a whole, and especially their ancestors, they made choices and covenants that turned them away from Jehovah. God was faithful, but the people had rebelled. They had adopted the practices of the Amorites and raised altars to foreign gods, and those altars were now demanding a price. Is somebody with me? In Judges chapter 6 verse 13, Gideon cried out, If the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? Where are all his miracles? His frustration makes a lot of sense because many believers are in the same place as Gideon. You have served, you have prayed, you have kept your heart pure, but still you face battles that seem inherited. So you keep questioning God. Lord, I am serving you. I go to church every Sunday. I fast. I pay my tithes. I do everything right. So why am I still struggling? Why do these battles persist? Why won't this cycle break? Is somebody here? Let's look at the Lord's answer to Gideon. In Judges chapter 6 verse 25, the Lord said, take your father's young bull and tear down the altar of Baal that your father has, and cut down the Asherah poles beside it. Beloved, you may not realize that the real issue is not God's failure to deliver, but the presence of spiritual legalities, altars, covenants, and disobedience that have opened the door for affliction in your life. Many believers fail to recognize that there are altars, visible and invisible, that can speak against the destiny, even if you never personally raised them. Life is spiritual. Just because you do not participate in idolatry does not mean you are automatically shielded from the consequences of generational decisions around you. Many destinies are in captivity today, not because of their personal disobedience, but because of foundational altars and bloodlines that have not been addressed. Beloved, Gideon's story teaches us that before deliverance comes, you must address the legal grounds the enemy stands upon. God's instruction was clear. He didn't command Gideon to pray more, to fast more, or to sin less. He said, tear down your father's altar. Today, we are going to tear down every ancestral altar that is still demanding a price in your life.
If this blessed you, like, subscribe, comment, and share. God bless you.